This ain't financial advice.
Isn't it interesting how everybody has a little bit of a different relationship with money? You know, some people treat money like that sibling you never call. Some people treat money like that person who's desperate to be in a relationship with. Some people don't have any relationship with money, and some people act like money doesn't exist when it really does. And it's interesting to see all the different dynamics of people's certain personal relationships with money, because they're all different. You know, we all treat that thing, whether we are open about it, closed about it, differently. And talking about money is a bit taboo. This channel is money porn. And personally, I don't think it's taboo to talk about money. I don't really care. And the reason I don't really care what other people think if I talk about money is that people don't talk about money because they're scared to talk about money, because they're insecure about talking about money. But talking about money is the way that you solve your money problems. So, figure out a solution by talking about it, coming up with new ideas. And here we are on the precipice, on the verge, trying to launch a new version of smart money. And we all sit here and we wonder and we wait, will this solve my money problems? Will this ease my money problems, or will this cause me more money problems than I had before? We will only find out September 12th. By the way, if you folks are looking to stake your Cardano, come to the Nerd Node. We are fully upgraded. We are part of that 62% that was upgraded, and we love our new delegates. Shout out to all of the new delegations. From nerd to you, we love you. So what will happen here? Now, I can promise you that there's going to be an incredible, intense amount of FUD. No matter what happens, guaranteed, ETH maxis, Bitcoin maxis will declare some sort of victory over some sort of issue with the launch of our smart contract platform. I mean, it's almost a guarantee. So don't be surprised when they say, well, ha ha ha! You know, this whole thing is very Y2K. Go Google Y2K. They literally said that the reason, or that Y2K could potentially result in a nuclear war and global starvation. None of it ever happened, though. Folks, all launches are not seamless. All launches are not smooth like butter. I mean, for God's sake, look at Elon Musk. He rolled out the Cybertruck, which I'm not much of a fan of, and he threw a brick at the window and cracked it. Still had a $250,000 pre-order in one day for the truck. So was the Cybertruck a success as far as sales are concerned? Well, I think the proof is in the pudding. And that's going to be a very important concept that we have here. The proof is going to be in the pudding. I'm not a developer. The large majority of you are not developers. And we're taking a calculated risk. It's a highly speculative risk, but for the people in Nerd and the people who watch this channel, it's a calculated risk because the upside is so incredibly high that it defeats the downside. And if it's not that case, I suggest that you sell. I'm not a financial advisor. You should always do your own research. But what does that term even mean? Do your own research. How do I do my own research on something like Cardano? Okay. I read various articles. I try to talk to experts in the field. But at the end of the day, I'm not a developer. I haven't looked over all the code, nor would I know what I would even be looking at, and that encompasses the large majority of you all. And we are all taking a highly speculative risk, and life is a game of risk and reward. And there's certain moments in people's lives that define us. This smart contract launch, which I don't limit to September 12th, give it a year. It's going to be defining Charles Hoskinson's life, who he is, what he did with his life, okay? if Cardano was to flop, it's not like we're all going to go buy into Cardano 2.0, okay? It's going to be 2.0. So, the cream always rises to the top, okay? And despite the ETH maxis that are going to FUD this thing as hard as they can, I wouldn't even be surprised if ETH maxis launched their own platforms just to fail. It's sick. They want to tear it down. They are scared. And whenever people attack things, they don't attack things when they're not scared. They attack things when they're threatened. When you corner a badger into, a cave, it lashes out at you. And that's what the maxis are going to do. Because they see a proof of stake system they said would never happen. Okay? They see smart contracts rolling out. They see developers flocking to Cardano, and that scares them. And it should. Now, will it be a flawless, seamless, smooth as butter transition like I segue into my new topics? Probably not. Will there be some kerplunkety-plunk? Probably. Does that mean that it's all over? Uh-oh, seatbelts. I know I'm going to hear it in the comments. Folks, this whole nerd node, this nerd family that we've created here, I've really gone all in. I don't know if I've ever really gone all in on something like I've gone in on this, and I've really gotten to know a lot of you personally on a deeper level. We've created a relationship, and maybe that thing was, revolving around money at first, but we've actually gotten to know each other on a personal level, and we've become a little bit of an internet family here, which is a beautiful thing. And, it kind of makes you think, like, what do families do when things go wrong? Do they just abandon ship? No. They work things out. They talk about the problems so they can solve the problems and move on to the next problem. And that's what the whole smart contract, the whole thesis of cryptocurrency blockchain technology is. Solving a problem. If we didn't have a problem, we wouldn't have cryptocurrency, we wouldn't have blockchain, and we'd have nothing to solve because all of the things that we were doing were already perfect. But that was never the case, and that was the whole thesis to Bitcoin. Creating a trustless, borderless money transfer, electronic cash system that had never been created before. And then came Ethereum, and here comes Cardano. And to say you're not nervous, to say you're not worried, to say you have 100% certainty is blind ignorance, okay? Because I guarantee you, even the people at IOHK are wondering, I hope this goes smooth, because nothing is perfect, nothing is flawless, nothing is seamless. But I think that when we see adoption of the platforms that launch off of Cardano, that will be a sign, that will be a beacon of light. Okay? We talked yesterday about the swaps that went kabutsky. Just because a bunch of swaps go down and people aren't qualified to run them does not mean that ADA is not a great platform. Because in reality, to me, there's really only 2, 3, or 4 major swaps on Ethereum. Okay? You got 1inch, you got Pancake, you got, I was going to call it Unicorn, you got Uniswap, and you got Sushi Swap, okay? And then maybe Dodo Swap. I don't use that, though. And that's really it. But the other 98% failed. So if one thing fails, it really means not that much, because you really only need one thing to succeed. If we get a flawless, seamless, or at least better than what we have with Uniswap product coming off of Cardano, we're off to the races. And I'll tell you a little story, a little Scott Wallace sports history. It was the semifinal game my senior year of high school, and it was another team's homecoming game. And I never forgot how loud that crowd was, probably about 2,000 people. It was a middle linebacker. We had pushed them back 3rd and 20 to their 1-yard line. Our coach called coverage. That means you got to look back for a pass, but I went for the blitz. Right through a gap, sacked the quarterback. Saints won 9-2. That audience shut up. It was quiet. You could have heard an ant piss on a piece of cotton on the way out. And when we start to get the right projects doing the right things on Cardano, if we get those things, there are no guarantees. That is what I would love to see. Folks, I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you being part of this journey, and I hope to grow this community and this family. And if I don't see you, I'll see you on the internet. I'm out.
Steak with Nerd.